Did you hit go live? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. This is trippy. This is a little bit different. What are you? You're sitting across from me, bro. Give me a little. Come on, let's go. Everybody, welcome to the Hockey Mountain High podcast, the first ever studio show edition. We started this thing, 5 years ago in our living rooms, and now we got the lighting. We got a multi-cam setup going right now. That's me on the screen, and that's you on the screen right now.
If I'm being honest with you, the difference between staring into my laptop and staring into the 5 different screens we got going on here, kind of a trip. It's also going to be weird. We won't have any tape delays, so when we interrupt each other, it'll be in the moment. And
exactly.
We'll be good to go.
No latency. We're just cutting each other off for the love of the game at this point.
Exactly. And if you hear some noise, we are in a very loud bar. I think it's going to be pretty good in here, though.
Yeah.
But it was a hell of a time, man. We got to do the watch party together for the first time, which shout out to everyone who came and stopped by. I know March Madness was going on. We got in a little bit of beef with some people.
Did we ever?
And here's the thing. It wasn't even us. They came up to us asking if we could change the channel, as if we were the ones in charge. So all in all, hell of an experience. We got to do the intermission show. You got to do the pregame. And I wish it was a better hockey game than we got to watch.
Yeah,
overall,
unfortunately, not the best result to be talking about for such a beautiful studio, for such a monumental occasion. The Avalanche's 4-game win streak does come to an end to the Winnipeg Jets 4-2 on home ice. But the Avalanche, they did win in Winnipeg 3-1. So that's worth something, right?
It's worth something. I mean, here's the thing. We knew they were going to split these 2 games more than likely, just because with the way Winnipeg plays, it was going to be some tough games, and they just did it in opposite order of what we thought they were going to do.
Exactly. We thought they'd look a little more sluggish on the road and look better, more dominant at home. Played much better in Winnipeg. This game just kind of slow, just kind of sloppy, a little choppy. They do get a power play goal. They do get a goal from the fourth line. Just give up a goal with 5 minutes left to give the Jets a lead. Empty netter to make it 4-2. Not the end of the world. Obviously, Dallas also wins today 6-3 over Pittsburgh, so that division lead for the Central is down to 7. End of the world. Am I right?
End of the world. Like I said, you're not going to win every game. It's a tough. You don't love the way that they played in that second period tonight, especially. I thought it was. I don't even know what to describe that second period as. We both were eating delicious burgers here at 38, and that game was just never. Like, that second period felt like it went on for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a forever slog of a period. But, I mean, get something from Parker Kelly. You get just a little something to get you back in the game. Went better than the last one we had against Winnipeg a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you get something. But here's the thing with it. This game, especially in Winnipeg, we were talking about it like when we were watching the game. They will play 4 games like they did on the road where everything goes perfect. And then just one game, like once every 5 or 6 games, they just forget and don't do any of the things they were doing up in Winnipeg.
Yeah. Just looked comfortable in this game. Looked pretty pleased with themselves with this win streak. Created a lot of distance in the Central Division, but ultimately, just it's not a game that feels like the end of the world. This feels like a game that they can very easily bounce back from. Again, you look coming up against Calgary, you can imagine that they're going to be able to bounce back in that game just fine. Ultimately, you split the season series with Winnipeg. When you really break it down, you go 2-2 against them. You get 4 of 8. Not the worst way when you really break it down. You split the home and home. Yeah, your win streak ends, but you got to win in Winnipeg. Like, before we just get all negative and talk about losing at home, you did win in Winnipeg. You actually scored some goals.
And that you took the words right out of my mouth. They scored some goals, and it was in that game, you just had to get over those demons a little bit. And more than likely, I still think Winnipeg's dead. They aren't going to make the playoffs just based off how everything's going. But you get some goals. And the power play scored in that game too, right?
Yeah,
they had power play goal in that one too. That game happened 4 days ago now, so my brain is all sorts of 2. Yeah, right. Might as well have been 9 years ago at this point. But you beat Connor Hellebuck once, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you got 3 on him in this game. I'm sorry, the final score is 3-2. This is the first time ever I don't have my laptop.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, probably should have thought that through ahead of time. But, I have my phone, so we'll do the best we can with that. But, yeah, that Winnipeg game, the one that they won, felt really good, especially towards the end of the game. Favorite part of that is the Jets couldn't even pull Connor Hellebuck towards the end because the Avs were so dominant in the final 2 minutes that they were able to just completely run Winnipeg out of the building.
Oh, yeah, and you look at it too. That third period, you get the 2 early goals from Nathan McKinnon, and we're also burying the lead too. Arturi Lehkonen returned in this game too, where we got a guy right there. He won the Ray Bork-signed picture.
Let's go, baby.
Man.
Let's go, buddy.
Let's go.
Yeah, you cats can't see it, but we got a little live audience
that's
going
good.
for us as well. We're surrounded by glass. We might as well be a zoo exhibit here, which this is such a departure from the only time we've done in person was in your kitchen.
Yep.
And now we are in an actual place where there's people.
We have a producer. Shout out Danny.
Yeah. Shout out the main man, Danny, the real MVP behind the scenes.
Yeah. So Danny's hanging out with us for a little bit. Griffin doesn't have to do the producing for this one, which is great for him. I don't know how he's going to handle passing off the creative control, but
I'm sweating.
Yeah, you're sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This red on my face, I promise it's not sunburn, which
no.
you can see very clearly because of the lighting. How red my face is. That's not the lighting. That is a genuine sunburn. That is a full-on sunburn.
That's funny. But like we were saying, Nathan McKinnon in that third period, Arturi Lehkonen comes back in this game against Winnipeg. Nathan McKinnon gets 2 goals. The first one is 13 seconds in, if I remember correctly. The Avs have a 5-on-3 to end that second period. And the 5-on-3 looks good. It looked solid. They were creating chances. They don't get the goal, unfortunately, to end the second period. But you go into the third period, it took 13 seconds.
I mean, McKinnon wins the draw, powers the puck in himself, and then cleans up the puck behind Connor Hellebuyck to give them the lead 13 seconds in, which is just exactly what you need out of that game. You go basically 3 minutes later, McKinnon, which kind of a Hail Mary challenge from Winnipeg on that second McKinnon goal, but it's a beautiful play, beautiful give and go with Arturi Lehkonen in his first game back, picking up a beautiful primary assist to give the Avs 3-1.
Yeah, give a 3-1 lead. And Arturi Lehkonen, I feel like with all the additions the Avs made, we've kind of forgotten just how good Arturi Lehkonen is. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he comes back and he's right back into the top 6. And then for the start of this game tonight, he was on the top line with McKinnon and H's. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Nope.
And we do just kind of forget how good Arturi Lehkonen is.
There's a lot of guys on this team we forget how good they are. We Logan O'Connor, pretty much the entire Avs bottom 6. And Arturi Lehkonen has been such an unsung hero on this team for so long.
Yeah, for so long. And getting him back out there was absolutely massive. You just see the immediate dividends of you see the return right away. That play sets up again. It's a perfect pass. And Knack just taps it in. I don't know about you. I was a little nervous it was going to get called back for goaltending.
I mean, you have no idea, right?
No idea.
We can fast forward to this game against Winnipeg, where when they take a 3-2 lead, the Avs go and give a challenge. I watched it. I was like, I don't think that's goalie interference, but you can't be too sure these days. You have seen plenty of things come back that shouldn't be goalie interference and plenty of things stay that should be goalie interference. So it is really impossible to tell the difference sometimes.
What was it? What game was it? It happened the same night as the Jets and Avs. Was it Pittsburgh? Had a goal get called back again? I can't remember, but it's insane how many goal interference. You just have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I thought that because one angle it did look like McKinnon got Hellebuyck's glove, but he didn't actually get it. And I was very pleasantly surprised that they did not overturn that because it felt like a desperation challenge, and it was, but you just never know because we will never figure out what goaltender interference is. Ever.
You have genuinely no idea what it's going to be game after game. And so fair challenge by the Jets. I didn't think it was goalie interference, and not surprised that stood, but you really just never know with it.
Yeah, you never know. And it gave the Avs that 3-1 lead, and you thought they were going to be able to coast, just swing right by and get that dub. Who scored for the Jets? Was it Scheifele again?
Yeah, Scheifele had both of them.
If the Avs had one problem in this game, and it's a repeat of what's happened for the past 10 years, it seems like, the Avs have not been able to clear their own zone. Both Jets goals in this first game were turnovers in the own zone.
I mean, go back to the one that just happened here. Yeah. It's been the exact same problem where the Avalanche have not been able to clear their zone.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to get the puck out. You have to be able to just break that neutral zone trap that teams are going to do. Like the Avs, every team is going to try to prevent the Avs from gaining speed in the neutral zone and carrying the puck in. And you got to be smart with the puck in your own zone, man. Got to be smart.
Got to be, especially against Winnipeg, who you've had trouble breaking their press with forever.
Well, and here's the thing, too. Winnipeg has one line. And it scored both goals in that first game. And then it was a little bit change up tonight. That first line, I don't think had a goal.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So you shut down the top line, but then the depth guys show up a little bit more Winnipeg throughout the game. But I mean, just to put a bow tie on that first game, I love that point you brought up. That last 2 minutes, I don't think could have gone more perfectly for the Avs. The Jets didn't, like you said, they didn't get a chance to pull help at all.
Like for the final 2.5 minutes of the game, the Avalanche kept pressing and kept pressing and kept pressing, did not allow Winnipeg to get set up at all, and were able to just completely shut them down, get no shot of a 6-on-5 situation. It was as dominant as an end-of-game situation that I've ever seen, especially from the Avs.
Well, like that's the thing too. It's just maddening sometimes about this team. They have moments like that in that game in Winnipeg where they shut them down, and then you just go and watch this game tonight, and you're like, "Are we sure this is the same team?
Yeah,
are we sure?"
The Avs have struggled with the home and home a little bit this year. You go back to the one in Detroit, basically from in January and February. So I think it was the last day of January, first day of February. But they dominated them in Detroit. And then they came home against Detroit and really couldn't muster much of anything. So 2 might just be a coincidence, but you're going to have a third one here against the Blues coming up in short order. So we'll see if there's any.
So we just call that one a draw?
We might just call that one a draw. Yeah. But if the Avs go and dominate the first game and struggle again in the second game, there might be some validity that just the Avs take their foot off the gas against the same opponent.
Yep, more than likely, because it is getting to the point right now where you shrug your shoulders because Winnipeg. They aren't bad, but they also aren't good. I think they're just perfectly mediocre, and that kind of makes this game tonight even more frustrating.
Yeah, like they just match up with the Avs quite well. Like they have a lot of good system in place to match up with the Avs, even if they just it is weird that they just haven't been able to string it together. But you look at Connor Hellebuyck's numbers, he is, I think, with this game now above a 900. He was an 899 going into it. But the Winnipeg Jets ride and die with Connor Hellebuyck. When he's great, they're riding. When he's not, they're strong.
Oh, I mean, again, in tonight's game, did he make any crazy good saves? I don't think the Avs, like the 2 goals that got past him were deflections. I don't think there were a ton of opportunities created for the Avs offensively where you can go back and be like, yeah, that definitely should have been a goal or Hellebuyck robbed him. Like it was just, it was an okay effort. I thought they had moments of brilliance, dominating in the ozone, but it wasn't sustained at all.
No, it again, going back to my point from earlier, it felt like a game that they were comfortable, that they were riding their laurels from an impressive 4-game win streak all on the road and had just beaten this Winnipeg team. Didn't take it that seriously coming into this one. This is the definition of a wake-up game where they're going against Calgary towards the bottom of the league in the next game. I imagine for that next one, they're going to be a lot more awake.
Well, and like here's the thing too, we're going to have to get used to this type of effort in some of these games coming up.
Get used to what? There's a lot to get used to around here right now.
Yeah, we truly are zoo animals right now. People keep looking in here.
Yeah, people are like waving at us, but I start talking and then it cuts to my face. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That's me on the screen right now.
I think we're just going to have to get used to it. Like there's going to be games like this where they just do absolutely nothing because they are up, what is it now, 7 points on the
7 points with a game in hand.
7 points with a game in hand. They aren't officially locked into winning that division, but they're pretty darn close. And you just have to those end of season games are going to be a tough match.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the lead with Dallas, and you're not super concerned with it because there was going to be a night like this. You got a lot of favors over the last couple of days for them to lose to Vegas and the Devils and the Islanders. Hard to expect them to lose another game to Pittsburgh. Just happens to be on a night where you don't have your best effort, but now you have that cushion built in enough. There's like, okay, let's just stop it there. Let's leave it at 7. We don't have to make this interesting again if we don't have to. And let's just keep this lead here because Minnesota is still closer to Dallas than they are to us. That is still a more interesting race to watch.
Yeah, absolutely still a more interesting way to watch it. Minnesota lost today to Boston, 6-3?
6-3. Yeah.
So
Dallas won 6-3. Both games were the same with 2 empty netters at the end, so basically 4-3 games.
But. Yeah, so I'm very intrigued to see how the Avs fan will, because we're at 72 games played now?
Believe so.
72?
Yeah.
So you got 10 games.
I'm so naked without my computer right now. Like trying to rely
anything up.
Trying to rely on the NHL app to tell me anything about a hockey game is pointless. Like it takes 20 minutes to load the box score. So, we're doing our best here with what we got. And this is exposing me of not having numbers in front of me at all times. But
yeah, we should borrow laptops. That was kind of a rookie mistake. But for this game, especially tonight, I thought Sam Malinsky really struggled. Like this was one of Sam Malinsky's worst games he's had all year. And again, it wasn't like he was egregiously bad that you couldn't put him out on the ice, but Sam Malinsky's gotten to the point with the Avs where when he has an off night, you kind of just have to look at each other and be like, are we seeing the same thing right now? Because he's been so good all year, and he was not great tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen from him every now and again, just that style of play. I just don't think it matches up very well with Winnipeg a lot of the time. I mean, he's able to get it sometimes with them, but this one just not his.
Yeah, I didn't think really anyone on the defensive end had a great. Like, it was a rough game. I thought Brent Burns made a couple mistakes. Brent Burns was super active in the offensive zone too.
He was. He was flying up in those zones a lot. Like
very
you noticed a lot. Like, McKinnon's flying in down the wing and he's passing to the middle. It's Brent Burns standing there. Yeah. It happened more than once.
Yeah, and Brent Burns, we've come to expect, like, what's the best way to describe Brent Burns' game? As long as he doesn't do something terrible, I'm okay with it. It's just like
a live grenade. Just keep the pin in and you should be fine.
Him and Josh Manson on a pair is I'm surprised it hasn't been more of an adventure this year, because my God, those two sometimes they both treat the puck like an active grenade.
Yeah, it is an adventure to watch, as you say, sometimes with the both of them. I mean, I thought Cale Makar was a little rough in this game at certain points as well, especially defensively. I will give some credit to Sam Malinsky. I thought there was certain points when they were able to get set up that he looked decent, and Makar struggled once the Jets were set up in their own end. Again, just not the best effort from really the whole squad.
Well, I mean, you had the top D pair had a rough game. I mean, McKinnon and Natchez were noticeable, but I don't remember them like. It wasn't a bad game from them, but we've come to expect more from those.
I think the Jets just did a good job of limiting their opportunities, because there were definitely a couple of them, especially Natchez, where I thought he had some good looks. Jets did a good job getting in the middle of the zone and getting some legs and sticks on pucks, making sure they don't get through to the net. A guy that I thought struggled today too was Game.
Yeah,
that Landeskog did not have his best performance. A lot of turnovers. Just looked like he struggled to keep up a little bit in this game. Am I concerned? No. Again, I'm just not taking away that much from this game. It just seemed like kind of it's like a Wednesday in the office. You're just not really locked in that day,
which is crazy. It's crazy to say that we for a regular season game, but that's just kind of where the Jets are at right now. Like when you look at that,
this was a huge game for the Jets. Like you cannot just brush over that. Where the Avs beat them in Winnipeg. The Jets don't have a great shot, but this keeps them alive for the most part. Like this is a win where the Sharks won today against Columbus, and that race for the final wild card spot, I believe Nashville did end up losing to Montreal pretty handily. So that race is still wide open. So for them to get 2 of 2 against the top team in the league, they kind of have to look at as, well, that could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse. And it is one of those ones where you think the schedule makers look back and they go, oh, we kind of fucked up.
No, I don't think they do it. I think they just hit send and they never think about it again.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, what a job that would be.
Right? Like, is it even a person anymore, or is it just the machine?
I don't know. I remember watching an E60 feature on like the baseball people, and the baseball people like really went all in, and like they had like spreadsheets and everything. I don't know if I'd love that job or hate it.
I'd hate it. I am the least organized person ever.
Oh yeah, it'd be like, oh shoot, the Dallas Stars are playing 20 back-to-backs. The Avs only have 1. I don't know
how did that happen. But the machine's all screwed up, guys. I hit send. That's official.
It's official now. You got to go with it because it is some weird schedule making with the Jets at the end of the year. 3 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and again, it's the same thing with Dallas, really, just without the home and home in between. They haven't played Calgary yet so far this year. They're done with the Eastern Conference. I can't really remember a schedule that has ever looked like this for the Avs. Like, it's not a huge deal because it ultimately lines up for the Avs to get the second easiest schedule in the league down the stretch, second only to the LA Kings, because they have those games against Calgary, against Vancouver, and the 3 playoff games they have left are Dallas, Edmonton, and Vegas down the stretch. And again, only one of those in the Central. Edmonton and Vegas, they're going through their own things right now. So you feel like still you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. And like you said, those 3 games against Calgary and a Vancouver game mixed in there, I'm not sweating this almost too much.
No.
Like it really is. Your biggest game remaining is that Dallas game. What is that? April? It's next Saturday, right?
I believe it is the 4th. Yes, it is Saturday the 4th against Dallas, 1 p.m.
Yeah. And if you win that game, you're pretty much you lock it up.
Yeah.
And we'll do a full preview on that game coming up later next week. But like you said, that Calgary game, games, they're going to win those. What, like 5?
I mean, they better.
They better. If they lose those ones, we could be in some trouble.
Because we've done this before. We're like, oh, they're going to win that one, and they're just like, well, and then they believe that too, and then they forget to actually like play the game. Happens to every team in the league, but when you have these 3, what should be layups against Calgary, should be 6.
Oh, throw a fourth in with Vancouver.
Yeah, throw a fourth in with Vancouver, who they've struggled with at times in the past, but you should feel like they should be wrapping this points up.
We should be wrapping it up. I mean, we can put a bow tie. Like, what did you think of Mackenzie Blackwood in these 2 games? Because the thing is I don't think there's a worse position in all of sports than to be the starting goaltender, and every goal he lets in, it's his fault.
Yeah.
And
please specify that they weren't actually his fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they weren't. You look at that game. In both games, what is Mackenzie Blackwood supposed to do tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 crazy deflections from Winnipeg. I think Perfetti got the game-winning goal, and then who had the first one? Was it Lowry?
The first one was I'm blanking on it.
Well, because we missed the second goal because we went and got our burgers.
Right. That took 5 seconds.
That took 5 seconds, and we missed the goal.
The first one was Velarde.
Velarde, that's right. So a perfect hit by them. And then Ross Colton turns the puck over in his own zone. And the thing that's frustrating about that second goal, that wasn't the intention of the move. I don't think he was trying to do a Kucherov.
It was just the accidentally on purpose, perfect breakaway move.
Yeah, it was just like an insane way that it goes in, and there's nothing Blackwood can do.
Yeah,
like it goes back. If you've been listening to the show over this entire year, we've been saying you're going to ride the goalie that's hottest. I think both goalies are playing at a level where you can win a Stanley Cup with them. You can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when with Scott Wedgwood, because a lot of people are saying, well, he should just be the starter right now. Again, it's like we said all year. It's just they're going to ride them both. Where Blackwood got both of these games against Winnipeg, I wouldn't be surprised if Wedgwood gets both of these 2 upcoming games. And as for who's going to start in the playoffs, we'll see probably in game 82. And then
I don't even know if we'll see it in game 82. I think we may find out like in morning skate of game 1.
Yeah, it's just like Wedgwood's just been a little more consistent this year. I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. I think Blackwood's ceiling is higher when he's at his best. I think he's just had more interruptions this year. But you look at this game, I don't see anything in this game that you're like, oh, yeah, Blackwood's the backup now, because he had a very strong night against Winnipeg in Winnipeg. I thought he was strong in this game as well. He didn't have a save that wowed you in this game, but again, the 2 perfect deflections in front of the net, the breakaway, I mean, the game-winning goal, you watch that back in slow motion, you're just like how? Genuinely, what are you supposed to do?
That was the highest bounce I've ever seen off the ice. Yeah. Like that went straight down, boom, right back in. I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do. Yeah, like you just have no answer for those type of deflections. Great play by Cole Perfetti. But again, like if you're blaming Blackwood for these games, if the Avs lose, just take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay.
Yeah, it's what I've said. You don't have to villainize one goal. Their results have been pretty much equal throughout the season. Maybe Wedgwood's just had a few higher returns, a little more consistency without the injuries and everything. Because I think people are colored by the fact, well, he started the year, then Blackwood goes out for a little bit again, and Wedgwood's he's had I think the higher peaks as well. So again,
well, do you think it helps too that when the Avs were at their best this year, it was Scott Wedgwood in net?
Probably,
because I do think that has to go into account too. You have to take that where the Avs were so unbelievable in the first 40 games of the season.
Yeah.
And Scott Wedgwood played 30 of them.
He played pretty much most of them throughout that entire stretch.
So you're kind of, I don't know if blinded's the right word, but that's the part that you remember is when the Avs were at their best this year, it was with Scott Wedgwood.
Yeah. So just to ask plainly, game 1, who are you starting, Scott Wedgwood or Mackenzie Black?
I think it depends on the matchup, honestly, because we've talked about before, I would start Scott Wedgwood against the Stars, but I would start Blackwood against the Preds. That's just kind of where it's at. And I don't think it's crazy that they're going to have probably each goalie play a couple of games in each round. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
I don't think that's crazy at all, because it might, if it is Nashville, I think that's a great point. It's that's his old team. Yeah. Those are guys that know how to shoot on him. Maybe, or you could conversely say, well, he knows how they shoot. He knows how to save them. But yeah, I think it does just come down to that matchup.
Yeah, and I don't think Bednar wants to do that where he's going to rotate goalies, but it's what you've done all year, and it's been successful. And so, let's say you have Wedgwood start game 1 and Blackwood start game 2. like just depending on the results, that's who you go with for game 3.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a very rare position to be in where you don't really feel like any pressure towards starting one goalie over another. Because if the Avs do go on a long run here, they're probably going to play, like, let's say hypothetically they play 20 games again, which is not going to happen. But like hypothetically in the 20 games, I wouldn't be shocked if they went 10-10 for the goalies.
well, and we saw it with Boston, a couple of years ago, where they rolled Allmark and they probably rode him too much in that first round, and then they throw Swayman in for game 7. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, like panic moves.
Yeah, you can't do that.
The Avs are not going to be in a situation where they're going to have to make a panic move. Like, let's say one of the goalies gets pulled in game 3 of a series. They let in 4 in the first 20 minutes of that game. They get pulled. You have no issue going to the other guy, leaving him in, and then if he gets lit up for another, you put the other guy back in. Where it's people are going to talk about goalie controversy for the Avs no matter what, especially external media, but it's not going to be a thing. The team is not going to feel that.
No, I don't think I don't really think that there's a controversy. It's just going to be which one gives you the best chance to win. And I mean, if the playoffs started tomorrow, I think it's Wedgwood, but there's still 10 games left. We have no idea what's going to happen in those 10. Probably each is going to get 5 games, and we'll go from there. Like, I feel confident in either one.
Yeah, I would completely agree. It's the way we felt pretty much all season long. You know, some guys have had their ups and had their downs, but I think it's also a credit to Jared Bednar that he's looked at pretty much all those situations. Wedgwood has a bad night. He still puts him in the next game. Blackwoods has a rough stretch. He's still giving him his regular rotation. Like, he's not losing faith in any of his guys. Like, there are nights where they have to be better for sure. But Jared Bednar is not letting those things, he's not letting them pile up, and he's letting them play themselves out.
That's why Bednar is the best. We know this already. So, yeah, the goaltending, it's going to be a conversation for the rest of the year. It's just unfortunately what we're going to have to deal with. I don't even think unfortunately is the right word. It's just going to be.
I'd say very fortunate to be having this conversation because you go back to a year and a half ago. Remember going into that Winnipeg series? That Winnipeg series as a whole of like, you might have to go to Justus Annunen here. I don't know how you can continue.
The
like
flu
this.
cost him, right? Because I really do think he would have started game 2 if we go back. But we don't need to.
We don't need to reopen those old wounds because it all
wounds.
worked out in that series in the end. Georgiev turned it around and turned out to be just fine. It is just a completely opposite conversation that you're having now, and you have to feel way better about it. Because again, it's funny how quick you get spoiled, where you forget last November, how bad it was, and to have it be as good as it is now, you don't have to villainize him. I think it's a muscle memory thing for a lot of guys. You want to go after the goalie. He should save every puck. I think Blackwood did enough to win them this game.
Absolutely.
But the Avs offense did not come through enough. They should have scored 3 in this game. They should have at least gotten a point out of this game. I'm not going to pin any of it on Mackenzie Blackwood.
Nope. Couldn't agree more. What about Parker Kelly? Is he just
a monster?
Is this just going to be what he is? 17, 18 goals a year? Because that'd be sweet.
Because it kind of isn't slowing down. No. I mean, we got 11, 10 games left in the season? Are you telling me Parker Kelly's not going to get 3 more goals to get to 20 goal Parker Kelly?
I don't like. What do we do? Like, we got to have something in the works for when he does hit 20 goals, because that may be.
Do you give him a silver stick? Because I feel like he deserves
you have to.
Yeah.
Like, is it the greatest goal scoring season for a fourth liner in Avs history?
It would have to be up there. Right?
Let's create the award, the Parker Kelly Award. Scores the most goals in the bottom 6.
Because like we know he's not going to do this next year. Maybe he's just unlucky. It's not like he's been a bad fourth line goal scorer. I mean, he's put up consistently 8 goals like 3 times in his career so far at this point. For a fourth liner, that is nothing to sneeze at. I would expect him to still probably get like maybe 10 or 12 next year, but it's not like what he's doing is unstable. Sure, he's definitely had a couple more breakaways than he's used to, maybe a couple more distant shots beating goalies that he shouldn't. But the way he plays gets him to those right positions. I mean, he gets a nice deflection goal in this game on a Josh Manson shot. And also, some of the goals he's had this year, you look at and go, if you just had that move in your bag, remember was it against the Devils? Or I think it was both the Devils and the Oilers early in the season where he pulled out like those beautiful backhand goals.
I think you're right. I think it was those 2 games where he pulled them out. And you're just like, what? Where did that come from?
Right?
Where did that come from? And he's the perfect fourth liner. I do I like that Bednar is experimenting with the lines. I would like him to get a little bit more consistency of who he's going to play with, because it was kind of in this game where the whole lineup was just being moved around the entire time. There was no continuity, and there's a give and a take with it, because I do think you have to mess around and see what works.
I think they have so many guys that they kind of have to just mess around for a little bit and see what really sticks. I think it hurt them in this game, but I think in the long term, they're just trying to find those guys with some more chemistry, because, I mean, there is a lot of new guys on this team where you're playing Kulak a lot already. Nick Waugh's out right now. Nazem Kadri, Logan O'Connor's back now. Like, that should not be underestimated. They're still trying to find the final version of this team. And it might just be as easy on paper to be like, okay, well, you just put Landeskog on the top line, Lehkonen on the second line, Kadri, O'Connor, like however you want to do it. But you have to see if those guys mesh. And I didn't think the guys meshed very well in this game, but that's why you experiment now and not in game one.
Yeah, because I do think the final form of this team is McKinnon, Natchez, Landeskog, Nelson, Lehkonen, Nichushkin, Kadri, Waugh, Holton, and then Drury, Kelly, O'Connor.
Yeah.
I think that's the final form. And it sucks for a guy like Kiviranta, who's been awesome all year, but I think that's the final form of this.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame show. It was like, Yoel Kiviranta, who's done nothing wrong. Like, he's done nothing to not earn a spot on this team, maybe outside of like finishing a couple chances, but it's not his fault that if this team is ever fully healthy, because he can't guarantee they're ever going to be fully healthy, he's probably going to be a guy that squeezed out of the lineup. You already saw Gavin Brindley get sent down to the AHL to join the Eagles. But let's talk about that for a second. Like, I saw some people saying that like he got demoted and he lost his spot. No, this is a good thing. This is the best case scenario, I would argue. And I'm saying that as the number one Gavin Brindley fan in the world, who's going to buy a Brindley Eagles jersey the second they become available, because I love that boy so much. He is so good. But this is great for him to go down and get those top line minutes with the Eagles and play those high intensity minutes that he's not going to get right now.
Well,
Don't need them.
Here's the thing too. He surpassed every expectation.
What were our expectations for him after the trade?
To be traded at the deadline?
Yeah. I honestly don't even think they were that. I think we looked at this kind of as almost like a cushion. There's like, he's going to be a small guy. He might be something someday, but like, I'm not expecting to see him in the lap. When does Jared Bednar play guys who are like 5'2"? Like, he does not like small guys in his bottom six. Like, we looked as like, I don't know if there's a path for him on this team. He surpassed every single expectation that this team had from day one. From the first games of the preseason, he was outperforming everyone, and he made it impossible to leave him off the roster. And then once he got to the regular season, like, oh, he's going to get a couple games here. This will be good for his development. He made it impossible to not only send him back down, to scratch him at any point. He was getting big minutes early in the season. That overtime goal against Vancouver.
We'll always have it.
Like, and yes, he hit a lull as we got to like December and January. He's a 21-year-old, like 5'9" rookie. There's going to be a development curve for him in there, and that's where the AHL is really going to help him. And then another full training camp with the team next year. I don't think he could have had a better season. No. Like, maybe he could have not had a couple of droughts in the middle, but like, there comes a certain point where you reach a ceiling for what you can do. And I think he did everything that he could. He was brilliant.
He's brilliant. What an addition for the Eagles, though, as they get their playoff push. Like, that is a hell of an addition. I don't think they're going to send Bardakov down. I don't think they can.
So I believe Bardakov is waivers ineligible. I don't have my laptop in front of me, so I can't really double check. I remember it being that way. I could be wrong. Yeah. But I do think they're just going to hold on to him because, again, you're one injury away from like, okay, Zakar, go play a couple minutes again. And plus, not a bad thing. Brindley's 21, Bardakov's 25, like not the same development curve. I think they see Bardakov more as like fourth line, bottom six player. I think they see more ceiling with Brindley and are going to give him that development time. And also, like, you don't want to, not that they're thinking about this, you don't want to disrupt the Eagles too much by sending them two top line players.
That would be awesome.
That would be sick. I mean, I'm sure they'd be heartbroken about it if they got both. But
I mean, Brindley's going to be a wicked addition to the Colorado Eagles, and he is going to help them in their playoff push. Are they still first in their division? We need someone to let us know.
It would probably take me 20 minutes to load that, but they're doing great.
We'll find it. We'll find it. Someone will let us know in the future. But yeah, the Gavin Brindley demotion, again, I don't think demotion's the right word. He just got sent down so he could keep
We
playing
knew
hockey.
this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like we knew this was coming for months.
Well, and here's the thing: he's going to come right back up when the Eagles season ends. He'll be like one of the first extras that they bring up.
Yep.
So,
like he is going to be that guy on this team basically. And I think we got our main man, Danny, probably looking up the standings for us with the Eagles. But regardless, with Gavin Brindley, this is just going to be good for his development. And I can't wait to see him next year. And I'm glad the Avs held on to him at the deadline. I hope they hold on to him in the offseason.
Oh,
there is that fear because they don't have a ton of tradable assets. Gavin Brindley might be one of the only guys that can move that needle for them in like a big trade. I don't know if they need to make it. We can get to all of that in the offseason. Like that's all offseason talk. We don't need to get to that quite yet. But even still, like
I keep forgetting there's a screen over here. Like I look only on your side and it's farther away and I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So we got the Eagles in third place in the division?
Third place in the Western Conference right now, behind only the Silver Knights and the Ontario Reign. So the Eagles, they're in great shape right now. They've been very strong all season. And adding Gavin Brindley to that mix is only going to make them that much better. But to tie it all together with this home and home against Winnipeg, it feels a little weird because you got the win in Winnipeg, which feels good to get that off your chest to actually score some goals in Winnipeg, but then you just kind of took your foot off the gas at home. Not the end of the world. Leads down to 7, but you got enough room over this road trip that you're not super concerned about it. But I think you have to have a little conversation about the home games lately. I believe it was Arif who tweeted, since they lost to Toronto, or including the Toronto game to end the home streak, they're 4-7-4 at home. So I've been to 2 of those, the wins at the very least. So can't call me cursed anymore, but they've dropped a bunch of games at home. Granted, a lot of time during injuries. I wouldn't say I'm concerned, but it is a weird trend that if it continues going into the playoffs, then I'll be concerned.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They're going to get home ice throughout the entire playoffs, so you kind of need to win your games on home ice.
I mean, what a dichotomy from early in the season where they could not possibly lose at home, where you had a shootout loss to the Stars and the Hurricanes to start the season. It took till January to lose another, and then it was the one in Nashville, I believe, where they just got beat bad in that game during all their injuries. But it wasn't until mid-January you lost a game in regulation at home, and since then you've lost 7.
But here's the thing: they started off so strong, they can easily get back to it.
Yeah,
like I'm not sweating it too much. It's going to be a intriguing way to end the season because you have 4 home games left. I think it's 4 or 5 home games left. So I'm intrigued to see I'm very intrigued to see what they do.
Yeah, I want to find the exact number. It's 4-7-3. Excuse me, 4-7-3 for the Avs since that Toronto loss. So I get there is always going to be a regression to the mean. Like they were on pace for one of the best home records of all time. A little disappointing that it's been that mediocre to bad since then, but I'm not super concerned.
Not sweating it at all. They'll turn it on in the playoffs, kind of rolling around, and they'll be fine.
But again,
you actually brought that stat up, and I was just like, I hadn't even thought about it like that because you're just so used to them winning on home ice.
Yeah, I'm going to count out the home games I have really quick if the NHL app wants to.
My count says 6.
6. Thank you, Danny.
Thanks,
thank
Danny.
You, Danny. Can you still hear me?
No, I can't hear you at all. So
I think
hopefully
Danny, I think our mic's cut out. There we go.
Yeah,
we're back.
We're back.
Good, great to hear your voice again. Yeah, so we're back to 6 home games for the rest of the season. I shouldn't have closed my phone because I wanted to see who they were playing.
Well, it's Calgary,
Calgary, Vancouver, St. Louis, Calgary, Vegas, Seattle.
Yeah.
So only one playoff team in that stretch. So not unreasonable to expect them 5-1, 4-2, 6-0. Not out of the realm of possibility.
I thought you were going to hit me with the 6-7.
They only play 6 games. You're wearing 7, I guess.
I am.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a 6-7. But overall, it sucks to lose that game. I'm not sweating it too much. The offense will be better. Like you said, we had kind of mentioned this when we were just hanging out watching the game. Is the power play just
it's good?
Are we expecting goals now from the power play?
Because there was a moment where it was after Brock Nelson scored on the power play where they didn't call one later, or we thought they were going to get one. And then I realized I'm excited about the prospect of having a power play, probably for the first time all year. Where since the Olympic break, again, don't have the stat in front of me. Excuse me. Missing a laptop here, so I can't really get it in front of me. But they have been at least top 10 since.
I think Sean said they were top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
I thought it was 6th or 7th, but I mean, they've been that good. And they've been operating at almost over 25%, basically, which, again, how hard was this the whole time? The Marty Natchez thing has really seemed to work out. And also adding Nazem Kadri to that. He sets up Brock Nelson for that goal earlier, and just it looks so good. It looks so good.
I mean, if that's a positive you're going to take away, is the power play has looked phenomenal recently. Penalty kill has been phenomenal.
Oh, the penalty kill might be the best thing on the team right now. Since they've had Logan O'Connor back, I don't know how you can look better as a penalty kill.
Logan O'Connor almost scores a shorthanded goal.
Yeah,
he hit the post. That would have given the Avs a 3-2 lead. So,
I mean, if the Avalanche can figure out how to put the shorthanded goals in the net, I mean, they might be unstoppable at this point. Like, they're getting looks. Again, it's my favorite joke to make. You think they'd be better at them because they have so much film to watch of other teams scoring on them.
You would think. But the special teams have been improving, and that's really all you can ask for at this point of the season. Because they do finish 1 for 2 on the power play, but the last power play came with 30 seconds left in the third.
Even then, it looked okay.
Yeah.
Like it looked all right.
They did not have the urgency I was expecting them to have down 2.
Yeah, that one was weird because it's like, okay, we're down 2 with 30 seconds left. Maybe we don't need to set up the perfect shot here. Let's just see if we can get one and then go from there before we're down to 7 seconds. And then Natchez, I think, realized, oh crap, there's 11 seconds, and just fired a prayer on net. But I mean, I've only ever seen that comeback happen once, saw it in person. But you're not going to get anything out of that. So.
Not going to get anything. So I think we just move past that game. Yeah. Get ready for Calgary on Monday. Quick prediction for Monday before we go and just talk about the rest of the NHL.
I think they have a very good game against Calgary. I think they come out. I'd almost say like a 5-1 win. Calgary's been decent. I think better than some people expect post deadline, just because I think they've handed the keys to a lot of their young guys. Might be a dangerous mindset to just think, it's going to be a layup just because you have a lot of guys right now. I mean, Victor Olofsson might be looking for a revenge game.
I honestly completely forgot Victor Olofsson.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a couple goals for them. I think he scores in this game. I'm feeling the Victor Olofsson goal for Calgary, but I do think the Avs. I think it's a very star-heavy performance. I think Marty ends up with 2 goals out of this, but I think the Avs ultimately win probably 5-1, 5-2.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit closer, a little bit more low scoring, just because I don't know why, but Cooley and Wolf, I have a feeling they're going to play. Whichever one plays is going to play well. I think the Avs win 4-2, get an empty netter at the end.
Yeah. Calgary is 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, which for them,
that's good.
That's pretty
but
good.
Here's the thing: they want to be losing, so like it's kind of like
that's also the problem.
Yeah, like they need to be losing more than anything. So we'll see, and then we'll probably be back after that Calgary game.
I'd imagine,
and we will let's do a quick run through of the league. Because I was gonna say, do we have any mailbags? But we don't know.
I literally have no idea.
Yeah, we can't tell.
Shout really loud if you want a mailbag question.
Tell the people. NHL Eastern Conference is still just in absolute chaos right now.
Yep.
What is it looking like after the game tonight? Because I know the Islanders won today.
The Islanders won today. So right now, Buffalo 98 points. They're leading Tampa with 96. Montreal is in third with 92. In the Metro, Carolina's Carolina. They're at 98 points right now. The Islanders are at 89. The Penguins are at 88. The wild card is Boston at 90 points and Columbus at 87. Things change fast in the East, where Columbus looked like they had home ice in the first round and looked like they were rolling. Now they're down to the second wild card, only holding on against Columbus just barely or against Detroit just barely because Detroit has that game in hand.
Did they lose? Is Detroit winning or losing right now?
I know Columbus lost to the Sharks in overtime, so they got the point out of it. Game's going on right now.
Yeah, Philly's up 5-3.
5-3 with 30 seconds left.
All right, so Detroit's going to lose again.
Yeah.
Detroit, what are you doing, man? Like you're doing this to yourself. You can't even be like what are they going to complain about this time? That they had too many points and the East was too good? Is that going to be the complaint this time?
I mean, they were top 3 in the Atlantic. It felt like for most of this entire season.
Yeah.
And if they can't pull it off and they can't get in, I think you have to have a very real conversation about Steve Yzerman and the roster that has been put together.
Did you see what Brian Burke said? That it's not Steve Yzerman's fault.
Whose is it?
Right? I saw that and I was like, why are we giving him so many breaks? Like he's had 5 or 6 years to build this team.
To be fair, I'm surprised it has not gone great in Detroit with it because he built such a great team in Tampa, and it's very strange that just hasn't seemed to carry over into Detroit. where they're okay. He's built a very okay team that in a worse year is probably going to make the playoffs this year, but probably not the next year. They've been close for the last 3 years, but they've never taken that next step to even luck their way in. Or you look at a Montreal right now where they got in a weak East last year, but now they've upgraded, and now they're looking at a top 3 in the Atlantic, where Detroit, they just don't have those younger pieces that feel like they're going to improve. And time's ticking on Dylan Larkin. Like, time is ticking on that guy. He's not young anymore.
Well, and that injury did come back to bite him a little bit. Like, he only missed 6 games. I don't think he missed a ton of time, but those were big 6 games for him to miss. And I mean, you look at it too. You got DeBrincat, who's not super young. Like, he's probably at 32 years old. Is what I'd say.
It's just like they skipped right ahead to like the finishing touches of Patrick Kane, guys like that, and they don't have a strong enough foundation. Where I think a lot of the mistakes they made with the JT Compher contract, with an Andrew Kopp contract, with the Justin Hull contract, which they were finally able to get out of, but like a lot of these mistakes have added up for them and not been able to they're close. If they just didn't make those moves and just upgraded at those positions, they're in. They'd be in a wild card spot right now, and they probably would have gotten in over Washington a couple years ago.
That Washington one will always make me laugh, just because it was like, well, they pulled the goalie, like that was BS. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, but like they lost 2 games to Washington down the stretch in overtime. Where that was your point right there. If you won one of those overtimes or one in regulation, you're in.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Detroit's going to do. I'm worried in the East. Like the Islanders, Sorokin is so good. Like Sorokin is the best goalie on planet Earth right now. I think the Islanders are going to make it. I'm worried about the Blue Jackets just because of the.
I'm worried about the Penguins without Gino and now with Sidney Crosby. They both did not play.
What's with Crosby? Like what have they said?
I think I forget who are they playing before Dallas?
Ottawa.
He looked like he just went into a scrum awkwardly or something and just went to the trainer on the bench. Like they're fighting for their lives right now. And Malkin missed 5 games with suspension. Crosby missed a ton of games after the Olympics. I don't know if they can survive this.
No.
Like, credit to the Penguins, as much credit as a Capitals fan could give them, but they have been hanging around all season. But like I don't know if they have enough to hang on when a lot of teams are coming on really strong right now. Like, you can't have a slide right now. You can't.
I mean, that was a big win against Ottawa.
Yeah.
Big win. And it helped today. They lost to the Stars, but then I think Ottawa also lost to Tampa. And then Philly's not dead now. Philly, after this win against Detroit, that's a big win for Philly.
Philly, I don't know if this is updated because it just ended. They're at 82 points right now. If it has, I don't think it has because everyone else is 73 and 72. So I think they're at 84 points right now, which would be 3 points out of the playoffs.
They're not dead.
They're not dead.
They're not dead.
They've never really been in that spot all year, but they've never been out of it at any point. They've been hanging around essentially the entire season. Like, if they just get hot towards the end here, they're 7-2-1 in their last 10 games.
Would that be the worst team to make the playoffs?
There's some stiff competition over the last couple of years. Some second wild cards have been brutal. I think that Capitals team a couple years ago was up there. They were not good.
I mean, that Philly team, like the Avs beat them twice.
No, they beat Colorado in Ball Arena.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. I remember.
Remember the rant? Yep. The radio rant?
Oh yeah. Good times. Good times. But the East is just fascinating me, and the West. You look at it too with Nashville losing today. I don't think anyone wants that second wild card spot. Like, no. I think we're going to see a lot of that Daryl Sutter quote from a couple of years ago, where it's like it's just going to be a quick.
That's kind of what was reported at the deadline, or before the weeks leading up to the deadline. Is a lot of teams fighting for that spot were reportedly wondering, is it worth it to try to make it if they're just going to match up with the Avs? Like that's not a cocky thing. Like, that is a genuine question of like, is it worth it for us to not get these draft picks and assets just to get run over in the first round? And if you want to look at where the wild card standings are at right now, obviously we talked about Dallas, Minnesota. They're 5 points away from each other. Anaheim, Edmonton, Vegas, 86, 83, 79 points. Right now, Utah is ahead of Vegas in terms of the standings, which is hilarious. But right now, it is Utah who is up 5-1 on LA at the moment. I feel very confident with them locking down that top wild card spot. And right now, Nashville, even with the loss, is holding on with 77 points. The Kings are not going to pass them right now, and they're going to lose that game in hand on them, stay at 76. Seattle, 75. They are still hanging around as well. And this win for Winnipeg, they are 3 points back. They are 3 points back. And they've played the same amount of games as Nashville, where if they didn't win this game, you could argue they were probably done.
Yeah.
3 points. And again, all these teams are going through just incredibly strange stretches and ruts and 10-game runs. It's not crazy to say the Winnipeg Jets can make the playoff. I would argue they're the best team in this race.
Yes, without a doubt, they're the best team in this race. Is the second wild card in the West going to have less than 90 points?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're like Nashville is 13 points back with 9 games left. Like, they can do it. But also, don't sleep on St. Louis. They're 4 points back. San Jose is 4 points back. Like, from Nashville down to St. Louis,
so bad.
It is a congested race right now.
So bad.
Like, obviously, the money is on Nashville because they have the inside track. If you look at all the potential playoff opponents for the Avs and the percentages, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. St. Louis, who won again today against Toronto, they could do it. They could.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like the East, it's like at least those are fun teams.
And actually, St. Louis has the tiebreaker over everybody with 27 regulation wins. Because Nashville has 25. LA has 19.
That's
19.
insane,
Seattle is 25. Winnipeg is 25. San Jose is 21. The Blues have 27, which is interesting. They also have 11 loser points. They cannot win in overtime. They're like the Avs early in the season.
I can't believe that. That is a hilarious thing.
Hey, don't sleep on Calgary, 9 points out.
Can you imagine?
That would be that's funny.
That would be the most funny thing to happen in this entire thing.
In a West that sucks, it is also really funny to look at Vancouver with 50 points.
Hey, they're gonna get.
They
McKenna.
got eliminated like a week ago.
They're gonna get McKenna. I hope.
They need him.
They need him.
Do you want McKenna in Vancouver for his sake?
I think anywhere he goes is going to hate his life.
I mean, let's look at the bottom of the league right now. Objectively, the funniest thing that could happen is Florida gets the top pick.
Oh my God! That's what I want to happen. I want that to happen.
Yeah, because again, Florida is an East Coast problem.
Yeah.
Like we see them twice a year, and we'll maybe see them in the Stanley Cup final at some point. That would be so fun.
Oh,
that would just be so.
Can you imagine Canada's fans reacting to that if he went to Florida?
I think there would be like a lawsuit.
Yeah,
like,
Vancouver would file a lawsuit.
I don't think that's that much hyperbole with the way that people react to Florida already. If they got the top overall pick after winning 2 straight Stanley Cups, I do think there would be an injunction filed.
I think that's everyone's worst case scenario. For me, the worst case is he goes to Chicago.
But also imagine being Vancouver, who has not gotten like a top overall pick, who's been awful for a long time outside of a handful of years. Awful. And not really gotten a top pick. They got their way into Quinn Hughes. Look where that got them. But has not won a lottery. And then Florida, bad 1 year after 2 straight cups, goes and gets Gavin.
And not even bad. It's just that they've had an insane amount of injuries.
Yeah, they haven't been able to put anything together. I'm shocked they're still playing, guys, honestly. Like, those guys should be getting surgeries they didn't even know they needed.
Yep. But we'll have to see. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season shakes out.
This has been a very good season in the NHL. A very interesting season. There's been a lot of messes. Like, this playoff format is a mess. But I feel like from the time the puck is dropped in October to now, this has just been a very solid, consistent season. Plus, you have the Olympics mixed in there as well, which certainly doesn't hurt. It's just been a fun year. I feel like these playoffs are going to be an absolute banger.
Yeah, they're going to be the best. I can't wait to watch them. I can't wait to watch every single game, and I'm just hoping and praying that it's Sabres playoff game before the Avs playoff game.
Yes.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. If you're
I
asking
will be
what
so
the dream
upset
is.
if the Sabres play. Well, they can't play at the same time. They're an East Coast team. But, like, even still. It wouldn't be that bad. Go from Sabres right into Avalanche.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun, right on the same day.
Absolutely. That's what I want. That's what I want. But we'll see. We'll have a lot more talk coming up. I did just want to talk quickly about the watch party tonight. An amazing time. We gave away a signed Ray Bork picture.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's awesome. Completely free. The food was, as usual, phenomenal. Here's the thing I have a gripe with you about. We went, with you.
Hey.
It's not even a big one. I paid for my own dinner tonight, and I didn't know that we could put it on. Our boss would buy the food for us. I didn't know that. No one told me that, so I paid for my own food. And you walk up and order right after me, and you go, put it on Mile High Sports tab. What's that comment saying right there? I can't read it.
Been listening to you guys for years. So freaking cool getting to watch you guys on YouTube and in studio. You guys are awesome. Congrats. That is from Bryce Boardman 164. This is the most surreal experience of my entire life. Bryce, shout out to you, buddy. This is awesome. The fact that you guys have listened for so long and given us enough of a platform for us to be sitting, like, we got studio lighting in here.
It's very warm.
It is very warm. It is not helping my sunburn at all.
No.
But
yeah, that was my gripe with you. I paid for my own dinner tonight.
Listen, in my defense, I was looking at my phone and I wasn't thinking about it. And if I noticed, I promise I would have said, put it on my sports tab. If it makes you feel better, I will send you $20.
No, you're good.
Okay. I will send you $20.
But it was an amazing experience. We both got to come to this one. We're going to have another one coming up soon when it gets finalized. Nate, our boss, will let us know. And it's just a great way to come watch a game. March Madness won't be going on, so we won't get booed when we're on stage.
that was really,
Insane.
Really funny. Because, again, a lot of people here for March Madness, obviously, as well. And when the Avs game turned on, there was like a lot of Iowa fans here. They started during the pregame show. Christian wasn't even here yet. We had a guy come up to us like three separate times, and be like, "Can you guys change it back?" I'm like, I don't work here. I'm just here to watch the game. Yeah. But he insists, like, but you can ask. Like, you guys are in charge, right? Like you this is your thing. You can ask, and they'll listen to you. I'm like, I don't know if I have this like authoritative aura about me, but like, I'm just a guy in a jersey for all you know, standing close to the table, watch. And he was getting like mad.
Yeah, he was getting mad at us, and I'm like, dude.
So the answer is no. I'm like, brother, I don't know what to tell you. But the best part about it was, oh yes, the Avs game was on the big screen outside. March Madness was on literally every other TV in the bar, and the big screen inside, and the 5 TVs on the outside. I felt like that was a pretty fair compromise. I felt like
and I loved it. The best part about it, he comes back, and Sean, who was the MC for a lot of these events,
the best part.
He comes back up, the same guy, and he goes, "You look like you're in charge of these two." And Sean's just like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, what? Just relax, dude. Like, the game's on over there."
But you know what my favorite part was? He never moved to go watch the game on the other. He stayed in that spot, stewing mad the whole time.
Oh, so funny.
That was phenomenal. That made my night.
It was so funny. It was so funny. But we had a great time. And like, it's just for us, it is a pinch me moment just sitting here doing a show right now. It is we literally started this. I was recording in my loft. You were recording in your old apartment in Maryland.
Yeah.
And now here we are. Like, this is going to be not the norm for us. We're still going to do a lot of Zooms because you're in Fort Collins. I'm obviously in the Denver metro area. But for the playoffs, more than likely, this is what you're going to be seeing.
Yeah. For at least for most of them.
Yeah.
Like, when we're having a watch party, we're going to be here. Afterwards. And the thing is, if you come to the watch party, you can watch us do this. Again, I cannot stress enough how much glass is surrounding us right now.
Kind of crazy.
You can like put both palms on the windows and lick it like a child at the zoo and watch us record.
Yeah, we are just in here. I don't know if anyone can see it on the set. There's a Colorado Crush helmet hanging up there.
Yeah, right.
And that's awesome. That makes me feel old seeing the Colorado Crush helmet. And also, we just got to give a tip of the cap. No CSU stuff in here. So that's great. That's great news. And Griffin's taking off his clothes because there's no CSU.
Because I came from CSU football, right? You can't even see it because I'm like, but there is CSU rep in here.
Yeah.
Because I smell like shit. I'm sunburned because I came from the football practice earlier where I smell like gravel and sweat, and I had no time afterwards to like do anything. I came straight here, and I've been standing in the sun in a bar, like standing in spilt beer. It's bad. I stink awful. What a time for the first like in-person show.
Nate's gonna come in here on Monday and be like, "What is this in here?
Oh,
like, these guys fucking.
We're not letting these guys back in here.
They left the place in shambles. But in all seriousness, if you have the opportunity to come to number 38 when we're doing a watch party next time, come hang out. Griffin and I are very antisocial. We want people to come up and talk to us because we will not go talk to anyone.
We were literally like hanging out like towards the stage. Yeah. Because we were like, let's just stay here for the most part. You know.
Stay here. But awesome experience. Shout out to Danny. Again, staying late to help produce this.
Shout out the main man.
You're the man. We appreciate you. And we'll be back Monday after the Calgary Flames game.
Yeah. This is this is so surreal.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely cannot believe it's gotten to the point that the email that I originally got, if I wanted to ever host a show sometime, because they liked an article that they read, gave it to me, 20 years old, with no plan whatsoever. And we're just like, all right, go do whatever you want. Did a whole season by myself. It sucked, and took a Hail Mary on Christian, all 6'6" of him. Is that 6'6" or
6'6"?
6'6", all 6'6" of him and his beautiful mug that you can now see properly lit. Danny, if we can get a close-up on Christian for real quick. Look at that. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Stud. Absolute stud. Took a shot on him forever ago just because I had a good feeling. And here we are.
We're in a studio recording the podcast.
We're in a studio recording a podcast with a producer with over 100 people watching right now.
Are there 100? Dude, I need to get new glasses, man. I cannot see that screen. I am blind.
That is a skill issue.
Yeah.
I can read perfectly good. That is 123 people happening right now.
Yeah.
Hi. All the people waving at us. Yeah, but this has been an incredible experience. Shout out to everybody at Mile High Sports for everything that they've done for us over the last several months. Shout out to Danny in particular, who has to deal with me and the 11:30 emails that I send of the descriptions every single night so he can run the YouTube and everything. But this has been incredible. We had an amazing time at this watch party, and none of this is possible without every single person who listens every single time and sends us incredibly nice mailbags, interacts with the show. Like, it's humbling to be here. Like, truly humbling. We are two just like normal guys,
two idiots,
just as average guys as it gets, just talking about what we love and what we love to do. And like, I am honored. Like, honored. just absolutely honored. You know, put it right there, brother. Boom. So much. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's awesome.
If only I wasn't like so sunburned. Because especially when we're on this wide shot like this, you look at Christian and his perfectly normal skin. I look like I just washed off Facebook. Yeah. Like, come on, I look like I have makeup. I didn't even know because I didn't have a chance to look in the mirror.
The first thing
Christian walked up to me. It was like, yeah, you are. You didn't even say hello. Yeah. You were like, bro, you are sunburnt as shit right now.
Yep.
So much fun. But unless you've got something else you want to wrap us up here with.
No.
We're probably missing something because I don't have notes in front of me.
Notes. We didn't spend an hour pre-gaming the show. Exactly. We were just like planning everything. I don't have anything else, man. I'm ready to wrap this one up, and we'll be back Monday.
Yeah. Say your catchphrase. Send these people on their merry way.
Send these people on their merry way, man.
We got to get all the hits in right here. We got to get all the hits. But that is going to do it for us on this edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. As always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian at Christian_Belay. And you can follow the show at Hockey MTN Pod. But again, thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will catch you all next time. But until then, Christian,
let's go Avs.
Let's go Avs. Danny, hit the end stream button. We nailed it in one take.